start again from the beginning.
So you remember a few weeks ago when there weren't any more godlings getting sick?
Yeah, and then 8 of them dropped like flies.
Well, it turns out there just weren't any mythos getting sick here.
Wait, I thought all of the godlings were here.
Only if your history's as white as snow, kid. You have to remember, there are far more civilizations than just the Western ones.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what happened?
Well, it was actually you. Well, you, Lexi, and Ellie gave me inspiration specifically. So, after you had me look into all that stuff, I got curious, and I might have found her research notes. What? Hermes is the god of thieves. Anyway, the locations of the other mysterious events all host their own godlings, so after that it was just a matter of putting on my tennis shoes and going for a run.
You ran to Egypt.
And China.
No way, that's impossible.
You can hit an ant from across a football field with an arrow. Theo drives the sun across the sky, and Hannah throws lightning bolts, like javelin. And you don't believe me.
Fair point. So you ran to Egypt.
And China.
And China. What did you find?
Well, a lot of other godlings, for starters. I mean, a lot. All of varying degrees of power. Some who are actively worshipped, even. And you know, their histories are so much more thorough than ours, it's crazy. But anyway, we've talked about how our powers are directly related to how many people believe in us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so since people have a vague idea of who Artemis is, you have significantly more power than someone like Bryce, right? But wait, there's more. So far, the only godlings who have been getting sick have been lesser gods.
What do you mean?
Okay, so a lot of pantheons have a distinction between the gods. There are usually main gods, and there are lesser gods. Like, we have the 12 Olympians in Hades, and Norse has Aesir, etc., etc. But back to Bryce for a second. So, he has the power of Ganymede, a god, but not one of the 12 and not very well known. He would have a lot less power compared to someone like Nike, who is also a lesser god, but is pretty well known. In this way, a lesser god who is actively worshipped could have more power than a main god who is not. The point of all of this is, the only people affected so far have been lesser known, lesser gods.
So whatever this is, not only is it affecting godlings, but it's specifically targeting the weak ones. Great, so this couldn't get any...
Don't say it, because it does. And Hannah informed me of your discovery a few weeks ago. Athena was right. Once a godling is awoken, they start to produce anomalies in their blood. Let's call them mythic particles. The more powerful the god, the more mythic particles.
No, we ruled that out, because if there was something in our blood, Ellie would have found it unless it was
absent. Whatever is making us sick, it is stripping the mythic particles from our blood, which is making us extremely vulnerable to all kinds of diseases and stuff like that. Whatever this is, it's turning us human.